everybody. I am back with, I'm not sure how many weeks it's been since I last did a what I spent in the week video. I think I might have missed out on 3 weeks now, so I'm just going to go from the beginning of October through to Sunday, which was yesterday. Sunday the 19th, that is. I'm sorry that I haven't filmed anything in a while. I have been really busy, and you'll probably see that has impacted my spending quite a bit. I won't hesitate much more, we'll go into it. So I'm using my budgeting book. For those that have followed my channel so far, you'll know that I do have a little link, an affiliate link to this book on Amazon. There's no pressure to buy whatsoever. But if you are buying anything off Amazon, it would help my channel if you did use that link, because I do get a small commission payment, but no pressure whatsoever. And like I've said before, I'm never going to sell to people. I'm not a salesperson. Right, so I think the last one you saw me doing my budget, and unfortunately I have gone a bit off that, but we'll go through what I've done. So started off well, because that is pretty much all my bills that come out. So first of the month I do have a standing order that goes into a savings account, and I have a standing order set up for £25, and that savings account basically is to cover my car insurance. And there's a bit of a story behind this particular savings account. It was I think they call it a regular flex saver. It's with Nationwide, and it pays 6.5% interest. But it's also one of the accounts that you have to have to get the what do they call it? This, I want to call it the share save scheme. I don't think that's right. Basically, they pay you £100, and it seems to be every March that you get given the payment just for being with their bank. So you have to have either I think it's either a debit card or a mortgage and a savings account. I think that's the criteria around it anyway. And it's particular savings accounts. I'm pretty sure it has to be something like a flex saver, something to do with that name. Anyway, mine matured, and it was on the 1st of October. So this payment went in, and I had an email to say your account's matured, please select a new one. And I went online and it wasn't letting me open up a new one, so I could have opened like the equivalent. They all have different numbers, so the one that had closed I think was like Flex Saver number 4 or issue 4 or something like that, and the new one I wanted to open was issue 7. And I'd done it in the past, because the first one I ever opened was issue number 2, and then when that matured I rolled it into issue number 4. Anyway, I'd had the email to confirm that my account had matured, and to sort of, either you get the option to leave it there on a really low interest rate, or you can move it elsewhere. You can move it to another bank. They sort of state all your options in the letter. Went online and it didn't work, and it kept saying I already had one open, and that's kind of true. I did have one that was open, but it had matured. And my understanding of the word matured is that matured means ended. So I went onto the chat, the online help chat, and the person that I was speaking to said, no, you can't open another one because you've already had one. And they sort of meant like I couldn't ever open one ever again. And I was thinking, I'm sure they're wrong. And I was looking through the terms and conditions, I was querying it with them, they're adamant I was wrong, and they wouldn't help me. And I said, well, I'd like to speak to a manager, because I'm pretty sure I did this in the past. In fact, I looked back through the history, I could see emails in the past where one had matured, and I then had an email to confirm when I opened a new one. And they basically said, I had to ring up and speak to a manager. Gave me the telephone number. I rang through, didn't get hold of anyone, got cut off. And I thought, well, this is at this point I'd been dealing with this for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and their phone lines had then shut for the day. And I left it that evening. And anyway, the following day I went online, opened it up, and it was fine. And I went back onto the chat and I said, look, I'm not very happy with the service that I was provided, because I was told incorrectly that I couldn't ever open one again, and that would have impacted my ability to have share safe scheme, whatever, the whatever nationwide call it. I want to call it, I don't know why I've got in my head that it's called share safe scheme. I don't think it is. It's called something else. But anyway, I wouldn't have been part of that scheme, and I wouldn't have been eligible for the £100 in the following year. So I felt like I would have missed out massively, because that's £100 that they pretty much give you just for having an account. And you have to have, like I think I've said before, you have to have £100 in the account. Well, I would have had that because my other account had matured. It had just under £300 in it, and I wanted to roll it in to the new account. Anyway, so I put in a complaint because I felt like I'd been given false information. Anyway, it turns out sometimes it pays to complain, guys, because they gave me £50 for that. I mean, I wasn't expecting to complain and to get money back. I just wanted them to sort of let the person know that I'd given me the wrong information, so that they wouldn't give more people the wrong information. Because had I not got a bit of a bee in my bonnet and gone back on and thought, no, I know I'm right, I probably would have just given up and not bothered. So yeah, got an extra £50 from them, which was very unexpected. But I'll let you know as I go throughout the rest of this budget, my spends, what I did with that. So like always, all my bills came out. Hopefully you can see them. So Amazon Prime, £8.99. My rent came out as £282.10. If you're new here, I have got a shared ownership house, so I do have to pay a portion of the rent. So I own 40% of the house, mortgage that is, and the 60% is rent that I have to pay to the housing association. So yeah, £282.10 went to them. Water bills £48, TV licence was £15, council tax £151. We rent a garage. My other half is an electrician, so he has to have somewhere to store all of his tools and, well, pretty much all of his hobby stuff. He has bikes and all sorts. So that's £119.38 that we pay for that per month. Electricity bill. So I think I mentioned in my last budget video that I'm with Octopus Energy. My house is fully electric, and they had contacted me to reduce my bill, and I think they wanted me to reduce it to £80 because I had quite a bit of credit with them, and I decided, as it's the winter months, I wouldn't lower it that much, so I've only lowered it to £130. This was the first month that came out. Sky TV, that was £75. That is my final payment for the television, so that's good. Sky Digital, that was £32.50. My mortgage, so my mortgage had just come up for renewal, and the payment has gone down slightly. That's now £436.51. It was previously £466, so a bit of a saving there. I think I mentioned before I had rang them up to find out if I could just keep the payment the same and take the money off the term, but they said they only do it for every £1,000 extra that you pay off. So I'm not setting it as a goal yet, but that goal in the future will be that I'll start saving up £1,000 and pay that off in chunks. My life insurance came out, that was £27.74. I put £100 into my Trading 212 account. My boyfriend's phone bill came out as £9.80, and my phone bill came out, and that was £22.49. So that was £15 off this month because someone had signed up to my Airtime rewards, which was I'm very, very grateful for, because obviously that has helped a lot this month. And I had some credit on there anyway, so I think I've got £5 for referral, and then £10 was what I'd accumulated through just connecting my debit card and just doing general spends. I never know what's on there, to be honest, and they do change what companies they give you cash back for, if that makes sense, all the time, so it's hard to keep up with, but it soon accumulates. Sometimes you'll have like Morrison's on there, another time they might take Morrison's off and put Tesco's on. They change it all the time, but it soon accumulates, so I think it's worth signing up for. Specsavers, that's £14. Made a payment to my credit card. That was a direct debit, actually, because it was that funny angel number again of £111.11. Pet food, so I made an order with Zoo Plus. I actually think they're a brilliant company. for various different reasons, but that was £72.52, so I stocked up on cat litter and cat food in that order. Then my Spotify account payment came out, that was £11.99. My gym payment came out £29.99. I mentioned I had put beauty into the budget, and I made an order with Look Fantastic because I'd run out of cleanser, moisturiser, and I did go a bit spendy with some shampoo. I've started to use Colour Wow. I don't use it all the time, it is just one that I use maybe 1 in 5 hair washes. I mean, I usually use Tresemme for the most part, but I do find using Colour Wow has really helped strengthen my hair. And it was on offer. I think it was like an early Christmas offer, and usually it's £40 for the 2 bottles, and I've never bought them at full price. I've always bought them when they're on an offer, and I got them for £25. And the moisturiser and cleanser I bought was from The Ordinary, and again, that was actually in a Christmas offer. It was in like a box set thing, and it came with the hyaluronic acid and what was the other thing? I want to say it's like some sort of fermented milk. I've never used it before, but it's basically like a toner. I thought, oh my god, it's going to smell disgusting because with the name fermented milk. And I'd never used it before. I'd never even seen it before until it came in this beauty bag. But actually, I think it's done wonders for my skin. It's like a beauty bag that's meant to help with hydration. I've noticed like over the last few months, I have started to get drier skin. I don't know whether it's whether something changed during the summer or what, but my cheeks particularly used to get quite dry, which I think that has helped a lot. Anyway, back to this. Emergency fund, I put another £50 in. That was the £50 basically that I got from Nationwide. Leisure, so my friend booked this it was like a historical walk around our town, our local town. I sent her £10 for it. I think it was something like £8, but she paid for it up front. I just sent her a tenner to pay for it. Groceries, so on the 4th of October that was, I spent £21.93. I had a bit of a wobble with groceries really. For about a week I didn't go food shopping, but you'll see how that really affected this shortly. I paid more into my emergency fund, more of my credit card, so I am just skipping through because I just worry this video could end up being really long. As you'll see, there's quite a few transactions. I paid quite a bit off my credit card. I'll tell you the total in a minute. So another emergency fund, a £50 credit card, 2 transactions, one for £163 and one for £72.86. I then put £19 on an Everup gift card, and that was, I believe, from Morrison's. And I was in the store at the time, and it had come to £19, but before I scanned my Morrison's More card, and then that took off a load of discounts. So I had this Everup card, like basically had a load of change left over on it. I'm pretty sure the bill at that point came to something like £14, so I still had some spare change, and you'll see in shortly what how that affected things. So I did another order for Zoo Plus. I needed to get because I've got a kitten and an older cat, and I bought some, it's like a hormone thing that you plug in to help them live a bit more harmoniously together, shall we say. Then my payment to Moneybox, it went in, and that was £10, so that is £5 to my LISA and £5 to my pension. Another payment for credit card, £91.03. More savings payments, so total of £125 there. This was next transaction was £10 for a present. I've put that into the birthday fund. Basically, it's it was a bit of an unexpected one, but some friends did like a nice job, and a group of us all got together, and we just put a little collection together. So I paid £10 towards the collection basically. So that's come out of the birthday fund. Groceries, so again I spent £3.64, but that was because I had change left over on that Everup card from before, so I was able to combine that. So a little top-up shop there, and it didn't cost as much. Petrol, paid £40 and a penny. Put another £75 into savings. paid another £100 off a credit card. Then another grocery top-up shop of £17.50. It was my friend's boy's birthday, and we spent, I should say 20, not 30. I know it was £20 for him. And then I've put fun money, so this was basically, they had the party at a Conservative club, and that was just for drinks, so £37.20. Then another payment went out to Money Box, and that was £5 into a LISA and £5 into the pension. The Healthy Pet payment to the vets came out, and that was £38.48. Now, I did do a little unbudgeted spend at New Look. I had a gift card. Basically, I've had this gift card for ages, and I kept buying things and sending stuff back because it just didn't look right. And I went over the gift card balance by £29.97. I think that did include delivery, but yeah, that was an unbudgeted spend there. But basically, I've just bought myself a load of basic tops from New Look that I can wear to work, because I'm probably going to be going into the office a bit more than usual, and I wanted some smarter tops to wear. We can kind of wear what we want in the office, but I like to wear smart tops rather than going in a hoodie and jeans. Eating out, and that I've put eating out, but it was actually a takeaway. It was £11.90, and then I did another top-up shop, and that was £27.25. Paid another £25 off a credit card. So I hadn't done a full grocery shop all the way until the 15th of October, where I finally put £70 on an Everup gift card. In fact, £70, but I know I went to Aldi, and I don't think the Aldi payment came out to the following day. Yeah, you'll see here, Aldi came out on the 16th, and that was £4.57. So I wonder whether that has, I mean, we'll see at the end of the month, but I wonder whether that's done anything to my budget, just doing top-up shops all the time. I mean, we really did eat down the freezer and the cupboard. So yeah, I did do a little bit of a stock up on that day. Another payment of £39.66 on the credit card. Things have been a bit crazy because I'll probably talk about it once I know a bit more, but there's a payment here for £2.70 for parking, and that's because I'm going to be having a few hospital appointments coming up, which I didn't know at the time when I did the budget, but I probably need to start factoring that in. But yeah, when I know a bit more, I will fill you in. I hate when people like are quite discreet and don't tell you, and you're like, why did you even mention it? Well, I have to mention it because I've obviously paid for parking, and sort of trying to explain to you the reason that I didn't know I'd be paying for that, and there probably will be more transactions to come in the coming months for that. And then finally, Apple bill of 99p. That takes us up to the 18th. Obviously no transactions on the 19th because they'd be here. Yeah, so that's that. I have been doing the 75 hard financial challenge. So I think I mentioned that so far I've paid £602.66 off my credit card. I haven't, because I've been so busy, I haven't necessarily done stuff daily, but I feel like my savings, I've got my emergency fund up now to £500. I do need to fill in the trackers, but I'm just looking at how long this video is getting, and I probably don't have time to do it. But I'll fill in the trackers on the next video. We'll do it at the end of the month, and then we can tick off how much I've paid off the credit card and how much of my savings is up to. And I'll also let you know at the end of the month how I've invested my money on the Trading 212 app, because I know I haven't mentioned that here, but I did mention that I put £100 into the app, so I can let you know how that's split out going at the end of the month. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for those that have stuck with me, and I've seen I've had a few more subscribers even though I haven't put any videos out for over a week. So thank you so much everyone for that. That's really lovely. Particularly when I know I've been so busy and stressed over the last week or so. But hopefully things are starting to calm down and get back to a bit more of normality. And when I know more about these appointments, I can sort of have a bit more of a schedule. But yeah, I will I do really enjoy making these videos, so I will continue, and I will let you know what's going on as soon as I know. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Sorry, I'm waffling now, aren't I? If you are new here, please consider subscribing, because it will help out my channel. It does help me to grow, and please like and leave me a little comment, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.